What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Movie Schmovie, episode
Schmovie.
28.
28. Wow. It's crazy. I know it sounds.
We say it every time.
I say wow every time, but it's a small miracle that we could get this done.
It's never not a shock that we're still doing it.
Not a shock. It feels.
We make times in our busy lives.
We do.
To get together. It's just really an excuse for us to hang out.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is brotherly love.
So deep.
So deep. So round.
Yeah. Okay. So this week we're going to be talking about a pretty cool film. I don't know. I think it kind of surprised me a little bit.
On the surface, not a cool movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Maybe change it a little bit.
I saw the trailer of this. I thought, this is absolute bollocks.
We're not going to tell you what it is yet, but yeah.
Right. I saw it. I thought, oh, this is
bollocks.
Bollocks. Fruity February this bad trash. Yeah, so the movie that we are referring to is This Means War, directed by McG, which makes me uncomfortable that this guy refers to himself as McG.
And he has no problem with it.
He has no problem.
I feel like I've seen him in an interview actually refer to himself in the third person.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I have. Yeah.
Man.
It was weird. I feel like it was during
like
some promotion for Terminator, the Terminator Salvation that he did.
I feel like McG is a name that someone has to give you rather than you just giving yourself that name. I don't know. But still.
I don't think somebody gave him that name. I'm pretty sure he came up with that on his own.
He's like, my name is McG.
Before we get to the feature film, though, we're gonna hit into the Mighty Minute Breakdown.
Okay.
We started it last time, and basically we're gonna stick with the Mighty Minute Breakdown theme, and it's gonna just be anything revolving around film. So, we're going to talk about news items, apps, actual titles that we haven't had a chance to review on the podcast. Mm-hmm. Just anything that we really want to talk about that maybe we read about that day or that week and we want to share.
Gotcha.
One of the things that I wanted to bring up, and this is going to be my piece of the segment, it's going to be basically about streaming services, and specifically about in the home. It's a news item that came out this week regarding Redbox and Verizon. It's a pretty big deal because I think a kiosk like Redbox is something that over the past 5 years has come into prominence and really has forced the brick and mortar stores like, Blockbuster, which are barely even alive. They were acquired by the Dish Network earlier this year or end of 2011 to change everything. Things like Netflix offering things in a digital format that's, streamable is huge. And I think Redbox, while they changed the game for the brick and mortars, they now are kind of plateauing. So it's kind of forcing places like Redbox to ask themselves, what do we do to stay relevant, to reach people that we're not already reaching because, they can come around a movie for 99 cents, but some people don't even want to leave their house. So the solution, let's team up with Verizon. So through Verizon's home cable service in our area, they offer Fios. Across the country, they offer different services, but what the idea is now is that they're basically going to be teaming up to combine both a DVD physical rental and the ability to stream movies and TV shows right from your set-top box at the house and also on your mobile devices through mobile apps that Verizon offers. It's a pretty big deal, I think, and it's going to be something that comes a little more clear towards the summertime of this year is when they're kind of estimating it. But it kind of just sets the bar because a lot of things are coming out in the past 6 months with Blockbuster being acquired by Dish Network. They're going to be offering a streaming service to Dish Network subscribers for Blockbuster's streaming service. And now Verizon's in the game. Amazon has also been, in the news recently about their streaming video service, adding show channels like MTV, Comedy Central, BET, Nickelodeon, and a lot of, digital hubs. Like I personally use the Western Digital Live Hub. I know you use the Boxy Box.
Yeah.
They have apps on them that let you tap into services like this if you have a membership. So the Amazon service, I can watch it on my TV right now if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. The Netflix service, same thing. So the fact that Redbox is kind of teaming up, with Verizon, it's a pretty big deal. I think something that people should be on the lookout for this summer.
Cool. So I chose to do something which is, I guess, sort of related to this it is exactly related to this. It's not sort of. Hulu Plus.
Okay.
Now, Hulu Plus is interesting because it's kind of the redheaded stepchild to Netflix's success, I guess, in comparison. But I think it has something that kind of gives it the upper hand, and it's the Criterion sort of collection.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is far more dignified than 99. No, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's stupid.
60% of the movies that are on the Netflix collection, combined with the shows, the current shows, you can see something that airs not even a day later. I think that it's a really good service. Hulu Plus, I think it's $7.99. $7.99 a month. Yeah. So it's a really good service. But the Criterion collection, the anime collection, that stuff. I mean, I know Netflix is very popular right now, but as I'm using it more and more, I find myself watching a lot more. Maybe because I'm just a fan of older movies, but classic art house is kind of my thing, and it's something worth checking out. So.
Why are you such a snob, Ronald?
I don't know how this has happened to me.
We trying to say like Netflix? Is that too lowbrow for you?
Netflix is definitely too lowbrow.
Oh, I gotta get my latte and go watch my Hulu Plus for my Criterion collection.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I can't do it, man.
You got your thick rim glasses on.
There's only so many 50 Cent movies I could watch on Netflix.
I think there's actually 3. There's probably 3 that you can watch on Netflix.
No, I think there's more than that. I think you're downplaying.
If you're correcting me on that, that's a problem. Because you've actually counted the number, and we need to talk about that later.
I feel like every time I look on a new release, it's a new 50 Cent movie straight to DVD.
Don't act like you're not checking it for that very reason. All right.
In Ray Liotta movies, Jesus Christ,
he's a busy guy.
How many straight to DVD movies can he make? I think he's a good actor.
Feed the kids, you know. Feed the babies.
You have to.
So moving on to this podcast, the feature film. Like Ronald said, we're going to be talking about Mick G's This Means War, and we have a clip here for you, so check it out.
What were you doing on the computer? Porn?
Photograph my girl.
Dude, I was doing the same thing.
Sure, you want to see her?
Yeah.
You're on 3. 1, 2, 3. That's
Lauren Scott?
That's the girl from the video store.
I had no idea.
No, of course you didn't. How could you know that?
I'm gonna bow out. You did her. Besides the fact, if I got in the picture, it wouldn't even be fair.
I'm sorry. What does that mean?
Come on, man. You're not out there as much as I am.
You don't have to bow out because of me. So do your thing, whatever that is. Just let her decide.
Sure.
Yeah. And while we're at it, why don't we put some ground rules in as well?
I think we should.
Number 1, I don't think we should tell her that we know each other.
Number 2, let's stay out of each other's way.
Number 3, no hanky-panky.
God, you have not dated in a long time, have you?
And if this ever starts to affect our friendship,
Which it won't.
then we walk away.
Done.
So then we have
a gentleman's agreement.
a gentleman's agreement. We do.
May the best man win.
So yeah, Mick G.
I will never not laugh. You're so coming out of it.
Mick G. Let's talk about this guy. So he is director of Charlie's Angels 1 and 2. Full Throttle being the second. He's also done Supernatural. He did the pilot for Chuck. He also directed Terminator Salvation. So he has an interesting range of things.
He did. I liked this film. I think he did the We Are Marshall.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I kind of
all
like
the
that,
Disney movies that are constantly being done. Oh, those about the athletes, the rise.
And let's be honest. If anybody, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I loved the OC.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the guys that was responsible for the OC. He was a producer.
Right.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I can't not go see.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
Mick G,
fine.
director of the film.
Director Mick G takes the helm on this film. So
takes the helm.
Is
this like a ship or something?
Yeah,
Helm's the ship.
Oh, it's a ship. All right,
get out of here.
So this is basically a movie about 2 secret agents, both very single. They're CIA operatives. And basically, one of them is very eager to kind of get out there in the world, played by Tom Hardy. His name is Tuck, and Chris Pine is his polar opposite, FDR Foster. And Tuck is a divorced gentleman, has a kid. Chris Pine's character, FDR, is very single, popular, club goer. So very opposite guys, and Tuck.
Best friends.
Yeah. And Tuck wants to meet a nice lady, so he decides to use an alternate sort of thing. He's not used to kind of doing online dating, so he decides to do it. He finds Reese Witherspoon's character Lauren online, and he decides to go on a blind date with her. So if you could explain a little more.
Yeah. I mean, basically from there, FDR talks Tuck into letting him basically tag along in a remote location, being CIA operatives are all about the stakeout and, the surveillance. And, just to make sure everything goes okay. Because, with online dating, you never know. It could be crazy.
Could be a psycho.
So, when he gets the clear that Tuck is doing fine, FDR, leaves the scene. But in weird circumstances, after the date goes so well with Tuck, Lauren runs into FDR at, the video store that he's at. And this is kind of setting up the film for us, which is basically these two best friends that end up competing for the same girl.
Bum, bum, bum.
The girl that's had nobody in her sights forever now has two very handsome, very capable, very successful CIA operatives.
Spy versus spy.
On her platter to choose from.
Spy versus spy.
Some might say. Some might say. So the rest of, we basically follow them around as they compete for her affection, using all these fun spy gadgets and all the resources at their disposal. But it's good to see that, CIA agents, where tax dollars go, it's basically so they can compete with one another to find a girl that loves them.
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine with that personally.
Make no mistake about this. This is a romantic comedy disguised as an action film. This is the problem with you guys. You guys fall for it every time. Your girlfriend takes you to see these movies. You're like, oh, she's like, it has a little bit of action in it. You're like, cool. Couple explosions happen, and you realize you've been sucked into a romantic comedy. Make no mistake about it. This is a romantic comedy. Don't forget it. Okay, I just wanted to point that out.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done with my rant.
I'm gonna go against you a little bit on that one.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that I remember reading that this film got cut down to a PG-13 rating.
Okay.
I definitely see the little traces in this movie where if it had kept the R rating, I think that rom-com versus action film, I feel like it would have went a little more towards the action side.
Okay.
Because there are some fun scenes in the movie with action.
Right.
The opening sequence. Really, just the opening sequence and then little, sprinkles here and there of them, surveying one another and just, kind of following one another around. But I don't know, I feel like there was a little bit of edge to the film, especially, with Chelsea Handler's in the film as Reese Witherspoon's sister, the comic relief in the film.
Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, they do, a little bit. They could be sisters. I don't know, like her brand of comedy, you could definitely see that going the R route.
Right.
And I think that just some of the sexuality in the film, two really good-looking, leading men. I've always thought Reese Witherspoon was super attractive, super cute, super sweet.
I don't see her being a person that two guys would fight over, but it's not that she's ugly. It's not that. It's not that. It's just up until this movie, it's really interesting. I didn't think of her as a sexual being.
As a sexual being?
And then when they showed her in these short skirts and doing all this, I'm like, man, Reese Witherspoon isn't so bad.
Yeah.
Right. It's,
Check yourself, right?
Check myself.
I don't know. I just think that I got a sense in the film that the studio, 20th Century Fox, I think they decided at one point, they were like, you know what, this movie's coming out in the middle of February. Hey, that's right around Valentine's Day. Hey, we should recut this film to be a little more lighthearted, a little more rom-com than action rom-com. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of where the whole PG-13 cut comes in, is that, do you know what I'm getting at? I feel like it definitely had a little bit of balls in it. I feel like there's some parts in it where you could see some of the action wanting to shine through, but then you could just tell that there was an edit to pull some of it out. Whether it's gunplay, language, sexual content. I'm gonna be whatever honest, it is.
The whole so the enemy in the movie, his name is Heinrich. So Heinrich's character, is so unnecessary in this movie. It's very weird, very weird.
It's something like that makes me think that there was so much more to this movie.
Right. It's
because it's a huge action sequence at the beginning, and you see him, and
he's he isn't there for the entire movie.
He's in the beginning, right. He's in one scene in the middle, and then he's at the end for 4 minutes. It's so weird.
Right.
And the guy that plays him, Til Schweiger, he is a guy that you'd recognize from films. He was in Inglourious Bastards. He was in Knocking on Heaven's Door. A couple indie films, but know him if you saw his face.
Yeah, definitely. He has a very distinct look to him.
He just, New Year's Eve just came out. He was in, with every other actor in the world.
Right.
But, you see a face like that, and you're like, that guy was cast for a movie for a role, not one that was supposed to be at the beginning and the end for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me think that there was probably a lot to this movie that got cut up. Because the movie's only 96 minutes or 98 minutes.
It feels like he's been cut out of the movie. Yeah. That's the problem.
And I think that's that R element, that's the action. I feel like there was much more in terms of what the hell, why does it matter that these two CIA operatives are even hunting this guy, or that he was their mission and now he's coming back after them? Because literally between that first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes, everything in between that is the two guys fighting over the girl using their CIA skills and abilities.
Very strange.
That's it.
Very strange.
You hear this bad guy mentioned? Angela Bassett's in the film.
Yeah. I feel like she might have some...
She was like, again, 3 scenes.
3 scenes. I feel like she may have been in more in the original version. It's just a lot of weird things about this.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what I kept thinking about after the movie was that, I think that there were so many like little weird things that I couldn't help but think that there's a whole different element that was completely removed from this film.
Oh, absolutely.
And it, to kind of make it more mainstream. I mean, they're
Rom-com-y.
sneaking this movie for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so I guess that's the bad part. I guess we kind of have to talk about what kind of makes this movie shine, and that's really the dynamic of Reese Witherspoon, Chris Pine, and Tom Hardy. Really, despite these blaring sort of things.
Yeah, there's there's holes, but I mean, there's a lot of chemistry.
Yeah, there's a lot of chemistry, and Reese Witherspoon is a natural as this kind of awkward, super smart but confident, super smart and confident, yet vulnerable in some ways, very strong. I did like that she didn't strike me as a weak person.
Yeah.
And I really hate that about female
I think she just
roles.
came off as like vulnerable, like not
so?
weak.
Right,
I mean,
right.
I think there's a difference between vulnerable and weak. Like she's successful, she's confident, she's vulnerable because she got burned in a relationship that she basically uprooted her entire life for, which we kind of see a little bit in the film.
Yeah, pieces of it.
But I mean, you don't get the sense that like she feels like a waste or completely defeated. Like she knows she loves her job. More often than not in the film, you're seeing her being reminded about not having a boyfriend from her sister.
Right.
Which is like, she's the married sister with kids and she's like living vicariously through Reese.
Yeah.
But she's not dating anybody, so she's not able to live anything through her.
Interesting.
I don't know. I know what you're saying. I just didn't really... I don't know. I'm kind of agreeing with you. She doesn't come off as like the woman that like...
She doesn't.
That some guys are going to take advantage of.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and then when she's presented with this option of like, she got these two guys, she really likes both, and they both have so much to offer, and, all this stuff. And I don't think at any given point that she gets so excited by like this one opportunity that she thinks she's never going to get again. Like the whole time she steps back and she's talking to her sister like, how do I decide? And she's like coming up with this plan to do this and do that and to sleep with each of them and all this stuff to decide.
We got to talk about that too later. But yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
though?
absolutely.
Like she's very like, just like her character comes off as very intelligent and very, she thinks through every little step, every possible scenario. She's like a product tester, professional product tester. And you're literally like, she's testing these two products. She's testing these two guys out. Yeah. And it's almost like they're the ones that are, they become the two that really need her and she doesn't really.
That's an interesting part about it. Also, it's weird that Chris Pine's character, FDR, is so charismatic in this movie that he makes Tom Hardy seem kind of insecure. Like it's weird. Like his character, Tuck, is not. He's supposed to be like presented as this very handsome man, but FDR's presence is so overwhelming that he kind of makes Tuck feel like he has a challenge in this good friend of his. And
because I think because FDR is like he's the super cute. He's got the amazing eyes, good looking dude. He's got the charisma. He's got the swag. He's got that. Yeah. And what Tuck has, he's more of a strong silent type. He's more of he is a little more vulnerable. You see in the film, he becomes more vulnerable, a little more desperate when he sees FDR kind of pulling ahead of him a little bit. But he's the little more of a brute. He's like the physical. He's he's boxing in the film, and he's like taking out 12-year-olds with a paintball gun kind of guy. You know, and FDR is like he's the one the ladies want. Which in any crowd, if you put either of these guys around women, they're all gonna flock to them. Like
Tom Hardy. Let's talk about Tom Hardy for a second because I feel like we always talk about him, but this is the first time, I guess, besides Inception, and he showed it in Bronson, that he had a really funny side, and this this showed a lot. Like, he really shined in this movie. Chris Pine. Okay, so I said some really negative things about Chris Pine.
You did.
During the course of, I don't think that he really makes too much of a stretch with his characters. He always plays these really strong, confident, not really vulnerable people. He wasn't very vulnerable at any point in this movie except for maybe a couple of times, and it didn't strike me as anything really outside of the norm for him.
Right.
So I think that I felt like Tom Hardy's character, required a little more skill.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can't take anything away from Chris Pine. I can't. He was really very entertaining in the movie. I like both of them.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, I guess the big thing that you kind of consider is that they're very different guys. So, Tom Hardy being that strong, silent type with the little flashes of comedy, I think it's a little different, like where Chris Pine, he's kind of just playing that playboy.
Yeah.
And I think in the playboy, in that persona, like, a part of the charm is the humor, and I think it comes out a little, I mean, at least it played out to me a little bit in the film. Maybe I'm just easy, I don't know.
I can believe it.
But it just plays out a little easier.
He's a very believable character. Like, seeing him in a club, and when he first met the girl, and I believed it. You know what I mean? I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, and he definitely has his looks going for him.
Yeah. Did you notice how blue everybody's eyes were in this movie?
Yeah,
That made me feel weird. Like, everybody's eyes were like ocean blue, like Bahama ocean blue. It was really uncomfortable how bright and blue they were. Everybody's eyes.
That's post production.
Was it right? That was definitely an intentional thing. That was
it's
so
gotta be,
strange.
Man. Everybody's like super.
Chelsea Handler's eyes were like really blue. I'm like, this is weird.
And their skin looks like more fair, fairer. Like it's
right.
Blue just like pops.
That's strange.
I don't know, but I mean, one of the other things I wanted to throw out was, I guess this sense of how Tom Hardy's character Tuck, he has a son. And he has an ex-wife, I guess. I mean, how do I put this without I don't really give a shit. Basically, Tuck's character has a kid, ex-wife. You don't really know why they broke up, but by the end of the film, the way we end up, it's kind of, you get the assumption that's because he leads this life where no one knows what he really does, right. So they never really, his ex-wife never really knew her husband, and his son never really knew his father. But you never get the sense from Tuck in any scene in the film that he's ever, like, really hidden anything from them except for the fact that he's a secret agent, Like, he doesn't seem closed off to them at all. Like, he's trying to see his son. Like you said, he's definitely the one of the two of them that wants a relationship.
And then the scenes where you see them together, she's always, like, pushing him away.
Yeah, she's completely cold to him. But then at the end of the film, when, like, it comes out who he is, it's like she turns around like, now I know you. You want to get family dinner? Because it's like this bookend. Like, he asks them out to dinner, and she says no because she has a date. Like, she wants nothing to do with him. But then, it's just like...
It's very strange.
It's just odd to me, like, things like that, when you try to create that sort of dynamic and that kind of backstory for somebody like Tuck's character, who is the one of the two that really wants a relationship, that goes on a dating site, which he's not really comfortable with doing, but hey, why not? And he's the guy that's like, you almost get the impression from his wife and his kid that, like, he's been, like, not there. And nothing that we're told in the film tells us that was the case at all. If anything that we're told, it's almost looking like he's a good dad.
Yeah.
Like, he's hanging out with his kid, watching his kid take karate classes, and he's trying to, see his wife. Maybe I'm being completely naive about it, and maybe, like, there was all this backstory. But if you're not going to tell us that as a viewer,
how are we supposed to know?
How am I supposed to believe that at the end of the movie, his wife wants to get back together with him? Like, so from that.
I guess the recurring theme in this review is that there's a lot of really undeveloped plot points. Like, it's just
there's a lot of holes in it, yeah.
A lot of holes. Like, there's a lot of stuff that feels... I mean, and this is the thing. You may not even think about this for this sort of movie. It's it's not a deep movie. It's pretty on the surface. But I feel like if you watch a movie, even if it's really, really kind of on the surface, it should at least have a developed enough story that you can, see some continuity in it. And I feel like
I'm a stickler for that.
There was a super duper lack of continuity in terms of the relationships that were developed, the information that we're kind of left with, the emotional strings that are supposed to be tugged. It's just all these things kind of lead me to believe that this could have been put on the editing board and done a little better. But that doesn't mean that it was that's the weird part about it. With all that said, this still wasn't a terrible movie.
Well, I think what it is that it's not the kind of film, like what it's about or who's in it. Nothing is like shit.
Right.
You know, I feel like it's harmless enough. That's kind of what I've been telling everybody that's been asking me about this movie. It's like, it's harmless. You know, you can go to it. It's not, you're not going to walk out and be like, that's 96 minutes I'm never going to get back. It's not that kind of movie. Like, when we talk about the holes that it has, it's still fairly entertaining.
It is.
You know, there are some genuinely funny parts in this movie. And they're, like I said, while they're maybe few and far between, there's some pretty cool action sequences. But you have to just basically go into this film knowing that it is a movie about two best friends who are CIA operatives that are fighting over the same girl. That's what it is. It's a Valentine's Day PG-13 film with some comedy. That's it. It's not, you know, it's not going to be anything that you're going to, I mean, in my opinion, you know, that you're going to like be like a year from now, man, that movie was so good, I want to buy it on DVD. I don't know that this is a movie that I would buy on DVD. I'd probably watch it again if it was on TV or if somebody was playing it on their, you know, DVDs. Right. But it's just that kind of film. It's like that gray area where, you know, you don't love it, you don't hate it, but it's like, you know that some people love movies like this. Some of my friends, I'm like, you know, you need to see this because you're going to love it because you like that kind of just wham, bam, thank you for an hour and a half of just kind of like fun, you know, little action, little comedy, little romance. And there's some, you know, like you said, Reese Witherspoon looks hot as shit in this movie. I mean, I think she does. I've always thought she was attractive.
She's pretty decent in it, man. She looks.
That scenes when she's in that little like sweater skirt thing, dancing around at the house. What was singing some old hip hop song?
This is How We Do It by Montel Jordan.
How We Do It. I was like, dude, I want to hang out with her.
Yeah, she was
dancing around eating popcorn.
It's a very good scene, man. Like I thought it was.
There are moments where you're like, okay, this is fun.
Right. I didn't like the black cop in it, man. It was bothering me. I really don't like the choice to make the black guy like, you don't know about that? You should know about this shit. I hate the black characters like that. I know this is weird for me to point out.
Yeah.
It irritates the shit out of me. That irritated me a little bit.
No, I think it's a valid. It's very so stereotyped.
So strange.
You can always rely on that,
You can always rely on that in movies like that.
And, yeah, I mean, his name is McG. So, I mean, there's something about that name that tells me that he's not too worried about not having stereotypes.
He's like, put it in there.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So, yeah, This Means War, you know, it's in theaters on the 17th. We're putting this podcast out a little bit early because it's going to be in theaters for sneak previews on Valentine's Day. So, you know, if you want to check it out.
We're ahead of the curve. That's all. You're just going to have to accept it at this point.
Yeah. Just go with it.
Just go with it.
Learn to like it. So, yeah, check it out if you're into that kind of thing. It's harmless fun. I don't think you'd be too disappointed by it at all. So we're going to move on to our DVD quick picks for the week. And you're going to kick it off, right?
Yep. So
What do you got?
My pick is Spike Lee's Malcolm X. So on January 30th, it marked the release.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Ron Burgundy?
Are you sure of that date?
Right.
Like
yeah, January.
Question mark at the end?
January 30th marked the release of the Blu-ray conversion of 1992's Malcolm X, the biography of Malcolm X, done by Spike Lee and starring Denzel Washington. This is 3 hours, 22 minutes of amazing film. It's actually based on the Alex Haley autobiography, the autobiography of Malcolm X. It is tremendous from start to finish. Malcolm X is one of those movies that only comes every couple years. And I think that what makes it so powerful is Spike Lee is a black director in a time where these sorts of stories need to go out. They need to come out because nobody else is going to tell them except him. Nobody's going to tell them as honestly as him. And I feel like the portrayals of black characters a lot of times is pretty bad. So to have somebody that really cares about that and really wants balance, Spike Lee is one of those guys. I know that sounds a little weird because some people are so anti Spike Lee, and I love his movies. Not everyone is, the greatest ever, but Malcolm X is one of the greatest. I can guarantee that you will laugh, cry, and enjoy the shit out of this movie, and not just because it's about a black leader, because it's a story of a man that found himself, a guy that went from completely hating anybody white to going to Mecca and kind of realizing that he saw these amazing people that were outside of his race, and he started to find a balance in his life, and he was taken from us right when he started to develop this like sort of idea about equality and how we should all work together. It's a beautiful story, though. Malcolm X is one of my favorite movies of all time, so check it out.
Right
Malcolm X Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
So the film I'm going to be talking about is actually not a DVD release, but I'm going to say it as my pick because it's available like on video on demand on HBO and basically any torrent site that you go to online. Mm-hmm. But a film I've been telling everybody about in the past week that I saw while on vacation in Florida is Paradise Lost 3: Purgatory. This is the third film in a series of documentaries released by Joe Berlinger and Bruce Sinofsky, two documentarians who've done some other films like Some Kind of Monster, the Metallica documentary, and My Brother's Keeper. But these films, I saw the first film back in the 90s when it came out, in Paradise Lost Revelations, which is the second one. And this aired on January 12th on HBO. And like I said, I saw it a few weeks ago. But basically, it's the final chapter in the story of the West Memphis Three. And if anybody's not familiar with that, basically it's a story of three teenagers that were arrested, charged, and basically put in jail in 1994 for the murder of three basically little boys. These are three people that were put away for reasons having to do with their taste in music, the way they looked, how they were seen by their, community, for, listening to hard rock music like Metallica and whatnot. It was a very publicized trial over the years. 18 years later, celebrity supporters. Like I said, there's been 2 films in between the first and the last. Basically, no one gave up. I mean, there's all these nonprofits that were created to try to help free these 3 guys. Jesse Miss Kelly, Jason Baldwin, and Damien Eccles were the 3 that were put in prison, with Damien actually being sentenced to death. But over 18 years, they'd appealed it so much that it had been put off until they could actually finally get their last trial, which they were to have in December of 2011. And it's public knowledge to this point, so not to give anything away, but they were actually granted what's called an Alford plea, which is where they basically plead guilty to a crime, and they are freed from jail for time served. It's an incredible documentary. I'm not doing it any justice by trying to give you the Cliff Notes on it, but it's a real life. It's American true crime, and the justice system at its worst and possibly best. Technology, however, the years it's improved so much that new DNA evidence was able to be submitted. How the support of nonprofits, even celebrity people being involved, like Johnny Depp, was a big supporter. Like Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam. There's a lot of celebrities that pop up in this documentary about their support for this cause, and it's just an amazing film. The filmmakers stuck with this for 18 years. I mean, and you can see in the footage them even being in some of the footage themselves, trying to get footage for their film. Right. They're very supportive of this cause. Hands down, one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. And I love documentary films. If you have an opportunity, you can watch the third one without seeing the first 2. I mean, because if you don't want to commit 6 hours to this as a trilogy, the third one does kind of summarize everything in the first 30 minutes and then kind of goes from there. So I would recommend, if you don't want to go all the way back, at least watch this film. The reason I tell you to watch it is not because it's only great, but also because of the fact that now that they are released, they got freed from jail. There's so many things coming up now because everybody wants to tell this story. Peter Jackson produced the film with Damien Eccles, one of the West Memphis Three, directed by Amy Berg. That was at Sundance. That's going to be distributed later this year, called West of Memphis documentary. And then Adam Egoyan is going to be doing a feature film about the story with Colin Firth, and Reese Witherspoon is going to be in it. And then just the other day, Johnny Depp bought the rights to Damien Eccles' memoir to produce another feature film. So, you know, beating the horse, but I mean, it's a story that people want to tell. It's ridiculously engrossing. I mean, like, I could not stop watching this movie. It's going to be something in the next year that you're going to be hearing about in terms of documentary films coming out, and also at least probably 2 feature films. Like I said, it's available, you know, on any of the torrent sites. I think it may even be on some of the streaming services now, and definitely on HBO and their video on demand service.
Cool.
Yeah, I told you about it the other day, and you need to check it out, man. It's
I actually looked for it. I cannot find it, man. So you got to help me.
I'll hook it up. It up.
Please do.
If anybody out there wants to see it, let me know. I'll hook it up because you got to see it. It's a must see, and you know, Oscar nomination for documentary feature for this film was announced a few weeks ago, and I'd be completely blown away if it doesn't win. So, but that's gonna be our DVD quick picks for the week. That's gonna actually wrap up the episode.
Yeah, wow.
Lean to Mean.
Lean to Mean. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Like I always do. But
we're gonna try to get something together and do something special for the Oscars coming up in a couple weeks. Not sure. I mean, we're gonna probably do something like where we talk about our picks for the awards and kind of recap it the week after. But if you have any suggestions for show topics, even if it's off topic in terms of doing a feature film, if you want to hear us talk about something, feel free to hit us up at the Schmovie at gmail.com. We have the Mixcloud account, iTunes pages, subscribe, share, do whatever you can. And of course, the Schmovie.net, which is our Tumblr page. But I don't know, do you have anything else to add, Sir Ronald?
No, I really got to see this documentary up in here.
Yeah, did I do a good job in talking about it?
You did. I hope I did a good job.
We're always smiling and like laughing and talking during our podcast, but like I if you could have seen me, I was pretty straight faced talking about that.
Right. I feel the same way about Malcolm X.
Yeah, you were very serious. Like 2 serious films. Huge fan of the Malcolm X film as well. I mean, amazing both in filmmaking and directing, and just 2 films that you should see. I mean, like I feel like both are very relevant. Still to this day.
I love good stories.
Yeah, so check them out. And, if you want to just have a little bit of fun at the theater, maybe go see This Means War.
Yeah.
Your call. We'll leave it up to you. Thanks, guys, for listening as always. You made our day.
Bye.
Take care.